Today on the Sports Trigger, we're going to be discussing a little Irish pride versus some Team Money team here. So, Travis, you ready to get started?
Let's talk fights.
Welcome back to the Sports Trigger, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the big fight that's actually going to be happening tonight when we release this episode. So McGregor and Mayweather. Travis, what are your kind of final thoughts here the morning of the fight?
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about this more and more, and my original stance was Floyd is going to take down McGregor. I think it'll be kind of carried out a little bit. But, you know, I definitely think after I've had more time to think about it, I should say, that it's still the same stance. I think it's going to go 5+ rounds. I'm thinking 7, maybe 7. So, I mean, the one thing a lot of people have to understand is that Floyd recently at least hasn't won by KO, consistently. Granted, that's against actual boxers, who that's their profession, that's all they know. But I definitely think it's going to go longer than 5 rounds. McGregor's only shot would be to KO Mayweather. I don't see him going the distance with them by any means and getting a decision. So I'm definitely on the money team on this one.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, for boxing, this is just such a lose-lose situation. Unless Mayweather somehow knocks out McGregor. Because if it goes the distance and Mayweather wins by points like he always has, everybody's going to be like, oh, McGregor came over from the UFC, was able to last all 12 rounds and got a decision. Bravo. If McGregor comes in and knocks out Mayweather, then everybody's going to be like, look, UFC is 10 times the fighters that boxers are. Boxing's not even a cool sport anymore. And then boxing's done. No one's going to want to watch boxing. And so they're in such a terrible situation here. But what I think is going to play out, and I've played out this scenario in my head, I said, okay, McGregor's going to have to knock out Mayweather in the first, 4 or 5 rounds because he's going to come out swinging. Or this fight's going to go the distance because McGregor's going to want to show his boxing prowess. And it's going to be another boring Mayweather fight where he doesn't get hit, but maybe a few times, outpoints him, gets the decision, walks off with the money bag. I think that's how the fight's going to go. And you know what? The only reason why I'm going with this, and I hate it because I'd love to see McGregor come in and fight. I'd love to see him just take him out. First 2 rounds, just 2 solid punches, knock him down. But the last time Mayweather and Pacquiao were fighting, and it got built up, and I was like, oh, Pacquiao's going to get in there, throw some punches. Mayweather's not going to know what to do because Pacquiao's so fast and gets to the inside. And it didn't happen. And so, you know what? I'm not going to fall for it. There's a reason the Vegas odds have the odds the way it is right now. And so I'm going Mayweather, and it's going to go the distance.
So you definitely think that you're definitely on the train that McGregor has the skill, if you will, and, I guess boxing prowess or with whatever time he's had to garner that, but you think he actually has a chance of going the distance? He won't get tired out after a while.
Well, I think he's tough enough.
Okay.
He could get tired and then just Mayweather keep punching in on, but Mayweather's not really a hugely aggressive fighter, if you really watch. He's very defensive. So, in my mind, if Mayweather was a guy that's just coming right at you, punch, going for the kill, then I'd say, okay, McGregor would get tired, then Mayweather would knock him out with no problem whatsoever.
Right.
But I feel like just the way with the fighting ramifications and what's going on, I think McGregor, he's going to probably try and go 12 rounds, and he's going to be outclassed by Mayweather, and he might get tired. You're probably going to see him being tired because at some point they're going to get 5-6 rounds in. They're like, man, you're just losing. So you got to go out and do something different. He's going to go out for 2-3 rounds, throw some punches, probably not land that high of percentage of punches, be tired, and then the last few rounds will just be kind of them tying up when they're close together, fought against the ropes, and then Mayweather just, be a boring fight of dancing around, throwing a few jabs in. That's what my feeling's really going to be. I hope it doesn't turn out to be that way, but I feel like if we're starting to get coaxed that it's going to be something different, Mayweather's proved time and time again that that's how the fight's going to play out. So I have to go with the odds, go with the long history. McGregor's 0-0 in boxing, so who knows what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's perfect, and he also hasn't won a game. So, I mean, there are a couple of different ways you can look at that, and it's definitely intriguing to me. I have to disagree with you. I definitely think that McGregor's tough. There's no doubt about that. He's shown that when he's been in the UFC. He definitely talks a big game, and he backed up when he's in the UFC, but this is a whole different scenario, a whole different scenery, if you will. And I think that Floyd may, after a little while, maybe give him a couple rounds and then start to be more aggressive like we were expecting to see in previous fights. Because, I mean, like you said, this is a lose-lose for boxing. And I think the one way that would make it look a lot better, as you stated, is if Mayweather goes out there and KOs McGregor. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see it going the distance. McGregor's definitely a tough guy. There's no doubt about that. But I'm really hoping that we see some aggressiveness out of Mayweather, especially if this is going to be his quote-unquote last fight.
Yeah, I don't know. Those 8-ounce gloves, McGregor's got all that confidence. I don't know. I have hopes, but based on the last few Mayweather fights, it's tough to play. But the one thing that I will say, the last few boxers who have actually been able to get some good jabs in on Mayweather have been southpaws. And guess what? Okay. McGregor's a southpaw, so I'll give him that chance. If he throws one or two in there and then doesn't tire out and can keep the heat coming, then that's awesome. But, I also read an article today where Mayweather's like, yeah, I've been hit, but that just helps me focus in. So is it a good idea to hit him? I don't know. You're not going to outpoint him. It's just not going to happen. I just don't see it. Mayweather might have the smartest boxing strategy that we've ever seen.
Right.
Not only to keep his head alive and for him to actually, be functional when he gets older and say, yeah, I went through all these boxing bouts, but I didn't get hit nearly as much as what champions did before me. But just pure strategy of how to win the game. And being able to stick to that plan week in and week out is why he's undefeated. And he's seen all the different scenarios. So I guess the only thing that everybody wants him to be rattled, but he's seen all these different types of scenarios. He's gone through all these different types of scenarios. So I just don't see him getting rattled. It's not like this is his 10th fight or something like that. Yet, he's 49-0.
Right.
And he's been in boxing before that too, as a kid. So he's been dazed before, and he's gotten over it every single time. So I just don't see how McGregor can unfaze him, unless, it's going to take a pummeling. So.
Right. One quick scenario though. Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, Sylvester Stallone, known as Rocky, he switches up from southpaw and he uses his right hand the whole time. Then he comes in later after he tires him down and takes him out. So
you think
maybe
McGregor's going to do that?
He may. Who knows? That would be something that Mayweather's not seen, or at least he's only seen in the movies.
That would be the most amazing storyline if McGregor comes out just throwing hooks and uppercuts with his right, and then takes him out with the left. If he takes that exact playbook, that would be amazing. That'd be
hilarious.
That would be the best boxing story ever. Over the
easily.
Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope. This would be like I took something from a Rocky movie and put it into practice. So yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. But you know what? I saw a video today of a Russian UFC fighter, MMA fighter, he actually killed a heavyweight lifter over in Russia with a kick and then got up on a pummel. Cheap shots. He shouldn't have been doing it.
Right.
But McGregor can't do that. He has to do it all with his fists. So that's why I just don't see him winning it. I hope it's a great fight. But with that being said, guys, thanks a lot for joining us for another episode on the Sports Trigger. Hope you enjoy the fight tonight, and until next time.